Not all killers are men. South Africa has seen women whose crimes are so cold, so calculated, they've shocked the entire nation. Women who hid behind ordinary lives, while leaving behind extraordinary horror. This is the episode 1 of our series on South Africa's most notorious women. We begin with a name written in death and deception, the woman who turned funerals into business opportunities. Her name is Agnes Segomotsi, and her story is one of the darkest South Africa has ever seen.
Alleged insurance killer Agnes Setshwantsho is appearing in the Mabatho Magistrates Court as her bail application continues. The 49-year-old is being accused of poisoning her 30-year-old niece to cash in on an insurance policy worth 3 million rand. She faces multiple charges, including murder, fraud, and defeating the ends of justice.
For years, tragedy seemed to stalk her family. A husband gone, a child gone, a niece, a daughter. Each death was ruled natural, each coffin closed quietly. But behind the grief, there was a pattern, a paper trail of insurance policies worth millions, and every one of them led straight to Agnes. Take her niece, Bonolo Modisimang, young, healthy, insured for more than 3 million rand. One day she ate the food her aunt gave her, and never woke up again. Doctors signed off the death as natural. But suspicions grew, and years later, investigators exhumed her body. What they found was chilling. Bonolo had been poisoned. Then came her own son, Kutlo. He was insured for 6 million rand. Suddenly, without warning, he too was dead. For most mothers, that would be unbearable grief. But for Agnes, it was another potential payout. Police began pulling the threads, and what unraveled was staggering. Reports show she had opened between 40 and 58 life insurance policies, spread across multiple companies, sometimes more than one policy on the same family member. The potential payouts stacked into the tens of millions. And the people meant to benefit? Never lived to see tomorrow. By late 2023, the pattern was too strong to ignore. Police moved in and arrested her. The headlines spread like wildfire. A mother accused of murdering her own blood for cash. South Africans were horrified. The story didn't feel real. It felt like a crime thriller, only this time the killer wasn't fictional. Since then, her life has been confined to a prison cell. Every bail application has been denied. Judges called her dangerous, someone who could tamper with evidence, threaten witnesses, or even vanish before trial. Her defense argues she's innocent, that she suffers from diabetes and high blood pressure, and that the state's case is stitched together from circumstantial evidence. But prosecutors hit back with toxicology results, exhumation reports, and policy after policy after policy. What makes this case so chilling isn't just the scale of it. It's the betrayal. A niece who trusted her aunt, a son who trusted his mother, a family who thought they were safe, all reduced to numbers on insurance papers. And it forces us to ask bigger questions. How does one woman manage to open nearly 50 policies without alarms going off? How many payouts slipped through before someone finally connected the dots? How many other families out there are living with quiet suspicions, never realizing they too might be victims of something like this? Now, Agnes waits. The trial looms in the Northwest High Court in Mahikeng. Prosecutors call her calculating, cold-blooded, one of South Africa's most dangerous killers. Her defense insists she's a scapegoat. But whether the court finds her guilty or not, the story of Agnes Segomotsi Setshwantsho has already carved its place in history as one of the most terrifying cases of betrayal and greed the nation has ever seen. And what makes it worse is that she's not the only woman whose name has been written in blood. Our next deadliest woman involves a mother, someone whose job should have been to protect, to love, to nurture. But instead, she became the architect of her own child's nightmare, a betrayal so shocking it stunned a nation. The mother behind this unspeakable act is Kelly Raquel Smith. It all started in Saldanha Bay, a quiet coastal town in South Africa, seemed like any ordinary place. But on February 19th, 2024, darkness crept into the Smith family home. 6-year-old Joshlin Smith vanished without a trace. Her mother, Kelly Smith, initially appeared as a grieving parent, pleading for her daughter's safe return. The town and community sprang into action, distributing flyers, organizing searches, and holding on to hope that Joshlin would be found alive. Yet behind Kelly's facade of worry, a chilling truth was hiding. As the investigation unfolded, shocking revelations emerged. Kelly had told her friend, Laurencia Lombard, about plans to sell her daughter to a man, a traditional healer, locally known as Sangoma, for 20,000 rand, roughly $1,100. Witnesses testified that Kelly had even spoken about selling children for as little as £200 each. The betrayal was unimaginable. A mother plotting against her own child for money. Police quickly traced the evidence, which led to the arrest of Kelly Smith, her boyfriend Jacques Apollos, and their friend Steveno van Reen. They were charged with kidnapping and human trafficking. Court proceedings revealed the gruesome details. Joshlin had been sold, and her fate remains unknown to this day. The court sentenced all three to life imprisonment for human trafficking, with an additional 10 years for kidnapping.
Mr. Apollos and Mr. van Ryn and Ms. Smith, I'm going to announce the sentences at the same time because your sentences are the same. I'm not going to draw any distinction, even though Mr. van Ryn has previous convictions and you, Mr. Apollos and Ms. Smith, does not have. On the human trafficking charge, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. On the kidnapping charge, you are sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. Because I've imposed life imprisonment, there is no need for me to rule on the concurrency of the sentences, because by operation of law, it will be served concurrently. Mr. Apollos, do you understand that? Mr. van Ryn, do you understand? Ms. Smith, do you understand? Thank you. You may be seated.
The judge described Kelly's actions as inconsistent with the behavior of any concerned parent and condemned her for the sheer cruelty and greed involved. The aftermath of the case left scars on the family and the community. Joshlin's grandmother, Amanda Daniels, now cares for Kelly's other children, living under constant fear for their safety. This case brought national attention to the severe problem of child trafficking in South Africa, where more than 17,000 kidnappings had been reported in the year prior to March 2024. Joshlin's story is not just a tragedy, it's a haunting reminder of how danger can lurk where it's least expected. A mother's betrayal tore apart the life of an innocent child, leaving her family and a nation in shock. It serves as a stark call to action for communities, authorities, and individuals to remain vigilant and protect the most vulnerable among us. This was the previous video we covered here, and if you'd like all the details, it's up on the channel right now. Go check it out after you are done with this video. And if you have any information on Joshlin Smith, contact your local authorities immediately. No child should ever endure what Joshlin faced. The betrayal of Kelly Smith left South Africa in shock. A mother who sold her own daughter for money, a crime so cold it tore through the nation. Let's move to our third deadliest woman. This episode would not be complete without mentioning one of the most infamous names in South African true crime. A woman whose story has been told in whispers, headlines, and courtrooms across the country. She wasn't just dangerous, she was calculating, ruthless, and deadly. Her crimes earned her the title of South Africa's most notorious Black Widow, and her name is Rosemary Ndlovu. She was supposed to uphold the law, a police sergeant in Tembisa, respected in her community. But behind the uniform, Rosemary Ndlovu was running one of the most chilling murder-for-money schemes South Africa had ever seen. It began in 2012. Her cousin, Madala Homu, was killed. People thought it was crime-related violence, common in the area. But in the shadows, Rosemary had already taken out an insurance policy in his name. The payout went straight to her. The following year, her own sister Audrey died, poisoned, then strangled. Again, Rosemary collected. By 2015, her boyfriend Maurice Mabasa was brutally stabbed more than 80 times and left for dead.
I can't forgive her, my Lord. That was my only child. Extremely painful.
And I don't want to say
Rosemary Puki Sunday as Kafa. Abunan Chumu Milani Stibago. Kusuka Gachelo Rayena, Angabakashi in Gilaka. Abunan Nanchum. The Zaswala Ulala, Subiusum Samar Sangofu. Why a child must say I am Baku was Steve Baku, and then down to
so, my Lord,
Mina and Rivala look on Jalagu, it's a liquid botoming. It's a botoming I want to met up for an anzan and win like Unchili Queen, over Rangan Zera, Unchili Queen. You go on at a quarter Queen, Rangan Seketaku, Safanella Rivalena.
While his family mourned, Rosemary rushed to the insurance companies, claiming thousands of rand. The pattern was always the same: insurance first, death second, payout third. Over the next few years, 3 more relatives, her niece Zanele, her nephew Mayeni, and another nephew, Brilliant, were killed in mysterious circumstances. By the time investigators began piecing things together, Rosemary had pocketed over 1.4 million rand. But she wasn't done. In 2018, she came up with her most horrifying plan yet: to have her sister and her sister's 5 children killed by fire. 6 lives in one night, and 6 payouts waiting for her. What she didn't know was that the man she hired to carry it out had gone to the police. A sting was set up. Undercover officers recorded Rosemary, calm and cold, explaining how the job should be done, how to burn the house, how to make sure no one survived. That footage became the nail in her coffin. In 2021, she stood trial. The court found her guilty of 6 counts of murder, attempted murder, fraud, and incitement. The judge noted the chilling consistency of her crimes: always an insurance policy, always Rosemary as the beneficiary, and always an unnatural death. Her sentence: life in prison. The nation was horrified, not only by the lives lost, but by the betrayal. She wasn't just a killer. She was a sister, an aunt, a lover, someone trusted by family and community. And yet, for Rosemary Ndlovu, family bonds meant nothing. Money meant everything. Today she sits behind bars. Her story a reminder of how greed can turn love into death, and how even those sworn to protect can become the very monsters they are meant to fight. Some of the most chilling crimes in South Africa weren't committed by men, but by women. Women whose names are written in blood, betrayal, and cold calculation. 3 women. 3 stories of betrayal, greed, and murder. Kelly Smith, who traded her daughter's innocence for money. Rosemary Ndlovu, the Black Widow who slaughtered her family for insurance. And Agnes Setshwantsho, the funeral fraudster who killed to profit from death itself. These women proved that danger does not always come with a gun or a mask. Sometimes it comes with a smile, a badge, or even the promise of love. And this is only the beginning. Because when it comes to South Africa's deadliest women, Part 2 will take you even deeper. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, not to miss what's coming next.